Hi, it's Mark here. Right, what I'm going to do is take you through some processes, handy tips, just a load of things to try to help you. Now, this is revision. If you don't understand everything totally, remember, you need to go back and have a wee look. So this is just updates, it's just wee bits that I've put together for you. So the first thing is that I want to go through is the starting layout. When you're actually thinking about where do I begin, where do I start, ensure that everything is in the correct units of measurement, so whether it's kilos for weight or meters for height and so on. So it's conversion, it's convert. Put things into the correct values, so that you can then start to then think about where you're going from there. Then it's the calculations. You need plenty of space for step by step. Do it in steps. Don't try and do everything all in one go. Put headings in there for each step as well, so that somebody else can check your work when you're in the industry, so that I can check your work, but also you can check it yourself so you know where you've been. I use a squiggly line in between, so maybe you could think about that one. Check your calculations, and it's easier when you've split it down into step by step with headings, so you know what's where and what's done what. It means that you can then, if you have made a mistake at some point, you don't have to do the whole thing all over again. What you can do is you can just go through bit by bit, and then when you find your calculation that's wrong, you start again from there, not the whole thing over again. Here's some wee tips and everything for you. Like I just said to you there, do nice layouts. Know the topics. Run through them. Make sure you know them. Processes provide answers. Don't just jump through. There's something to do with the psychology of this as well, is that quite a lot of people tend to try to keep on looking where they want to go and not the path taken. It's called pathing blindness. You see when people are driving and everything as well. So processes are important. What you want to do is, when you're confronted with loads of words and information, extract the main information from it. Obtain the mathematical requirements for the question. Write everything down in a nice wee list, and work your way through the process. So the first thing is making sure everyone's in the right units. Now I'm going to give you an example of something here, and you're going to get walloped. There you go. Look at all this. Oh my goodness. What I want you to do is to pause the video, have a look through it, have a read through it, and then come back to me. Have a quick read through, because this is just an example. It's a quick video for you, so it's just to run through what we would do here. Okay, so you're back again. If you haven't, pause it and come back. Okay, right, a piece at a time. So we take the first bit here. And what we can see here is there's nothing really there that's going to give us much for calculations. So then there's another wee bit from it as well. So if we take bits from here, this is going to tell us Monday to Friday is paid for overtime, okay, at a time and a quarter. So we can take information from that. So it's time and a quarter multiplied by the basic rate. This one here, Saturday working, when it's overtime for a Saturday, we know that it's paid time and a half now. So there it is. We take that information from it, time and a half by the basic. And then for Sunday, all hours worked, it's paid at double the Saturday rate. So we make a note of that. So what we're doing is working our way through. Now what we've got to do is think about the rates of pay themselves. So we're taking information from this. So the basic rate of pay, $19.25 an hour. So we've got an amount there. So we've taken that bit from that text. So remember how to convert when we're talking about halves and quarters and so on. Whenever you're talking about a fraction, you can convert it into decimal. So Monday to Friday, time and a quarter. We can then work that out. So it's the rate by 1.25. That gives us the hourly overtime rate. So it's all we're doing is breaking it down nicely all the time. So Saturday is time and a half, and again we can work that out from the basic rate. Sunday is double the Saturday rate, so all we do is double the Saturday rate. We multiply it twice, so we get two lots of it. So then we want to work out the hours worked. So we're doing this a step at a time all the way, aren't we? All the way through. So it's a 35-hour week, and we've got the hourly rate. Well, we multiply the amount of hours by that rate. Gives us a subtotal. We do the same for the overtime. So that's the amount of, I think it's Monday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. So it's 8 hours. Multiplied out. The next one is Saturday overtime is 4 hours, so therefore we take the rate, multiply it by 4, and the same for the Sunday, the overtime rate multiplied by the amount of hours of 3, totaled them all up, and we've got the answer. So you'll see there that the secret was in the process. It's extracting the information, so this is the process. You then look at the mathematical requirements and the placements, and you do it step by step. You write everything down, you mark it clearly, and each step by step on that process there, you mark it correctly. As to what you're doing, okay, so here comes some tips for you, fast and furious. So penny tips, a halfpenny. We don't have halfpenny pieces anymore in local currency. Some other currencies do work on halves, so they do, but we don't anymore. However, there's another one. There's an old one which we used to have. There we go. There's the old. I remember that. It used to be marked new penny because it was not from. It was from the old conversion. So we moved on to new pence. We can still calculate in parts of. So, for example, 8.5 pence is 8.5 pence. So 4.2745 pence. It's 4 pence plus parts thereof. So we can do that with anything at all, so we can when we do things in decimal. But what you do is write it down in pounds and pence so you don't get confused, because you know that it's 8 pence and a part of. So no pounds, no tens, you've got 8 pence and a half, so that's 5. So you can do that with the other one there as well, pounds and pence, and that keeps you right, so it does. So 10 pence, 10.5 pence. Okay, so all shown there for you. Other one here for you, decimal places as opposed to significant figures. So the example that I've given here is the usual rounding off rule for both of them. 5 that are above is closer up the way than down. So for an example of 14.1283 to 2 decimal places is 14.13. Significant figures. Well, if you're lucky enough to win the lottery, you wouldn't go around telling everyone I've won 15,540,312 big lolly notes. You would tend to round it off to 2 significant figures, 15 million. So it'd be 15, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and so on. We don't worry about those zeros, it's the big numbers. Okay, 3 significant figures would have been 15.5 million. Another wee tip for you, it's not multiplied by that number. It's 5 to the power of 2 that's shown you there. It's the exponent. So here's an example that I've got the other way, 2 to the power of 5. So it's multiplied by itself that number of times. So here we go. So there you go. So the answer would be 32. The reason why we do it in mathematics is because sometimes you can have gigantic numbers and you can't write it all down. You'll be there for weeks. Okay, so it's not multiplied by that number, it's multiplied by itself that number of times. Text for charts and graphs. Look through everything again. I'm just doing this very much just to say, watch out for this. Don't forget about percentages. Difference or change divided by original, multiply by 100. If you want to ascertain how much an amount is as a percentage. So percentage increases, there we go, just to actually run through that for you very quickly. 20% of 449 is 449 multiplied by 0.2. And there's another wee example there for you as well, okay? So again, you can pause these and you can reverse, you can rewind, and you can go through them if you want to. So again, change or difference, I can't emphasise this enough, remember this, just remember it, okay? So again, I'm just stressing this again for you just to make sure, okay? So what I'm going to say to you is, you must revise all your topics. Go through everything again, make sure there's video tutorials and everything for you. Use them.